What do you think of my president? What do you think of the invasion and occupation of Iraq? And it was really nice to see these people fairly fall over themselves to ask things about America. I said, what do you think of America? We like America very much. I'm like, wow, I'm glad you do, because we're a very good place. We're a good country. We're poorly run at present, but please come and visit. And I hope we meet in New York or somewhere cool like this. And like, yes, I want to visit the New York. I said, yeah, come visit the New York, man. You're going to love the New York. And I asked, what do you think of my president? And they all basically say the same thing. We're confused, we're scared, or like, oh, wow, what's in the water? And so I said, so you don't judge Americans by George W. Bush. They go, no, we know America's good. We know America's good. And it's very nice to see worldwide that people are able to not judge the many by the actions of the few. Almost the opposite is what we should be doing. We should be judging the few by how they treat the many. Same for your country, same for my country, same for any country. How the rich and powerful, those in charge, treat the citizens. That's how a country should be evaluated, how the rich treat everyone else. And so I'm having wonderful conversations with these people, and no one is saying death to America, and everyone's extremely friendly. And this may sound like kind of boring to you, or the minutia. This, for me, is fascinating, because I read books, you read books, we're all voracious readers. I'm unable to retain anything from a book. Books are sedatives for me. I crack one open, drool all over the page. It's hard for me to retain. My mind is a chunk of obsidian coated in Teflon, and smarts go bing, bing, bing. And the only way I get information is to listen to it, to walk through it, to bump into it, to taste it. And so I'm getting information about Pakistan from the locals, which I'm loving this. I'm outside all day just hanging out. And then, what did you do on your Christmas vacation? I hung out. And so I would go back to the hotel in the evening before the clouds of mosquitoes come out, and I would turn on the Al Jazeera English, which was a mini revelation to watch real-world news. Because American news carriers, by and large, are American-centric. America is 98% of the world's surface. There's a country to the north, it's called Canada, for now. And we're building a virtual barrier between the two countries, lest Canada try to invade us with health care and literacy and goodwill towards mankind. Any of that gay bullshit. But don't worry, we got our eye on them! So with the Al Jazeera, you become aware that there's countries all over the world, and they have things like the internet and math, and they want things like clean water in the future, and education, and peace. And you're like, wow, who would have thought? And it's hard to get that all the time from good old Anderson Cooper or the likes of Sean Hannity. And so it was interesting watching the Al Jazeera. And so evening 3 or 4, I'm watching the Al Jazeera, and all of a sudden there's breaking news out of Rawalpindi, which is about 6 miles down the road, that Benazir Bhutto has been assassinated. They don't exactly know how yet. Could be a bullet, could be a bomb, but she is certainly dead. And so I realized that I am in underneath the global spotlight, that the eyes of the world are now on Pakistan, and I'm in it. Pervez Musharraf seals the city and closes the airport. I couldn't leave if I wanted to. Of course, I'm not happy about the death of Benazir Bhutto. I'm not into assassinations, and I'm not into the death penalty, but I realized I'm now in officially exciting times. And so I'm like, whoa, this is insane. Immediately I get 2 emails. Yes, they have the internet, and it was a bloody fast connection too. I get 2 emails, one from a girl who works at my office, a woman, a thing, a force of nature who's been working at my office for the last 13 years. First name Heidi, last name, what's Satan's last name? Anyway, don't tell her I said that, she'll burn the office to the ground. Anyway, you figure a letter from her after she sees the news and she knows where I am would be like, Henry, oh no, Henry, are you okay? And the letter was, I told you not to kill you, idiot! Fucks a guy up on a weeknight. And so the other letter came in from my manager, who's no doubt tapping it away on his laptop, which is burning an Apple logo onto his stomach as he swings gently back and forth on some sunny coastline while some subservient, overworked, underpaid step-and-fetch bows and scrapes and serves him an iced drink, the more conventional holiday, the cheap holiday in other people's misery, as Johnny Lydon used to say. And so he taps out, are you all right? Management. And I've known this guy guy for 20 years. I like him very much. I've known his wife even longer than I've known him. Their first child is named after me. They're very nice people. The kid's great. But also, he knows his bottom line. If I get splattered in Pakistan, there'll be no greatest hits. There will be no free beer or hugs at the end. This is the last Mohican you're looking at. And all of a sudden, 15% of my action abruptly ceases. So he's concerned with me because he's concerned about the product. Are you all right? Love and kisses, management. P.S. Stay out of open windows. If you see a laser dot, find itself on your chest, drop or hide behind someone because we have a tour starting next year and I don't want you to get killed because I'm so concerned. I'm really concerned. I'm really concerned about everything you do and say, but really, the 15%, I got to get my kids through school. And so I realized, I write back, I thought, yeah, I'm all right, you frickin' crocodile. Because that's kind of how it is in the entertainment business. You're surrounded by crocodiles that you have to treat as human beings and hope they don't act like crocodiles. Like, nice. Ow, what the fuck? Oh, that's, I forgot, you're a fucking crocodile. Anyway, he's a nice guy and I'm lucky. And so I realized that tomorrow is going to be really insane. And so for the rest of the evening, I watch the Al Jazeera, I go on the internet and learn more about Pakistan and Benazir Bhutto. And I look out the window into nighttime Islamabad, and I come to the conclusion that the people of Islamabad really love to build spontaneous campfires all over the city. Some other people might say, holy fuck, the city's on fire! And so I could barely sleep for wanting the next day to come so soon. And so the next morning, as early as I could wrench myself out of bed, I went running down to the hotel lobby like a boy on Christmas morning, hoping for a nude girl, a pony, and a Kawasaki to be under the tree. And I get down to the lobby, which is now full of press people, and I run through the press people, and I get down to the gate, which is now festooned with armed men. And so I get to the head guy and said, hey, turn me loose! And the guy's like, not today, sir, please, 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 go back to your room. I said, today of all days, turn me loose! And the guy's like, no, please, it's very bad out there. I said, I know, man, I gotta see. He's like, oh, we may never see you again. I said, yeah, that very well could be true, sir. And my middle name is Lawrence, but one day I want to change it to fuck it. Let's go, man! And so I walked outside, and I looked that way, I looked that way, okay. I looked that way, holy fuck, look at all the stuff burning! Boing! I go running that way. Again, don't get me wrong, I'm not a tough guy, I'm not brave, I'm not like, I'm gonna kick some fire's ass, that's not me at all. But I looked at that one, holy shit, man, something's cooking over there, I want to go see what it is. Because what kind of storyteller would I be if I said to you, I saw things burning at the end of the street, and I went back to my room and watched TV. You'd be like, rip off! Rip off! And so I have to go, and I have an alarming lack of maturity and responsibility in these times. Many of you would see smoke and fire and go, yeah, looks interesting. Where are you going? Back to my room. Oh, what, you're afraid to go down there? Maybe, but no, not really. Then why aren't you going to go? Well, my sense of responsibility to the people I love outweighs my curiosity. What do you mean? Well, people like me, Henry. I have a family I still speak to. I love my parents, and I love my siblings, and I like my friends, and I like my friends at work, and I like my boss, and I have a kid. And I don't want to be splattered in Pakistan and come home in a bag and have people cry over my behalf. Now, if you really felt really responsible, you go back to your room so no one cries when you get injured. And to that I say, let's go see